Stepsons, it's getting colder outside. Days are getting shorter and the summer is coming to a close. In fact, it kind of has closed. There are some things you're going to want to do to your house when winter comes, and I'm going to show you 10 of those things that you can do to help prepare your house for winter. One of the first things you're going to want to do is disconnect the garden hoses from the water hose bib or the water faucet. So take that off. If you've got one in front and back, make sure you get them both off. Make sure you drain the water out of your hose and then store it in the garage. It'll last longer that way. If you've got a sprinkler system, you're going to want to turn off the water to the sprinkler system. If you've got a newer sprinkler system, then all you need to do is turn the water off at the valve. If you have an older one, then you may need to have the sprinkler system blown out with some compressed air to get the water out of the lines. Depending on when your sprinkler system was put in, you either have a drain back valve already or you don't. Mine does, so all I have to do is turn the sprinkler supply line off, and it uses a wrench like this. And down in the bottom, there's a little valve, and you turn it 90 degrees. You can watch this video that has more detail about shutting the sprinkler water supply off. Don't forget to turn your sprinkler system to off on the controllers as well. The third thing you're going to want to do is clean out the rain gutter. You don't want the rain gutter full when the roof is draining with melting snow or rain or other storms. If you want to see a full video on cleaning out the rain gutter, watch this one right here and it'll show you the whole process. But before I do that, let me show you a trick that my daughter's neighbor showed my son when he was visiting her. This channel is geared for young men that are growing up without their dad in their daily life, and it's to show you guys how to do different things around the home or in life or whatever other things your dad might teach you if he were there. That's how I grew up a long time ago. If you are just watching this to learn how to winterize your home, that's fantastic too. Let me show you the trick that my son learned from my daughter's neighbor. Get a leaf blower and use that to clean out your rain gutter. This is a lot faster than scooping it out the whole length. As I get closer to the neighbors, I'm going to blow it my direction so I don't blow my rain gutter crud into their yard. You may still need to get some of the heavier stuff out with a shovel or by hand if it doesn't blow out with the leaf blower. And hopefully it goes without saying, be very, very careful when you're at the edge of a roof. If you're on the roof cleaning out your rain gutters and you have trees that grow over your roof, you want to look at the branches. If you have any that are approaching the roof that would have the potential of, if they broke, rest on the roof, now would be a good time to trim them back a little bit. The fourth thing you're going to want to do is edge your lawn. The reason you want to do this is when you're shoveling snow on the sidewalk, if the grass hangs over the edge and your shovel hooks it, then it kind of messes up with shoveling the lawn. So we're going to edge the lawn and all the surfaces by which you might be shoveling snow. By the way, this is going to be something you're always going to want to have safety glasses on for, because it does spit stuff up and it can hit you in the eye. Now on to number 5. All right, stepsons, we have disconnected the garden hoses and we've stored those in the garage. We have shut the sprinkler system off and turned the controller off. That was the second thing. The third thing we did was clean out the rain gutter. The fourth thing we did was edge the lawn, and the reason we did that was so that it would be easier shoveling snow. Now the fifth thing we're going to do is mow the lawn one last time. We want to get all the crud off the lawn. We want to clean the leaves off the lawn because that will help the lawn be in better health in the spring. There's another thing. We want to run the gas out of the lawnmower so that it stores all winter with no gas in it. Because otherwise moisture will accumulate in the gas tank potentially, and then you have a little water mixed with your gas and it's not as good for your engine. Now, for years, I didn't worry about that and I didn't have problems. So I don't want you to sweat it if you don't do that. But now, I usually, at the end of the season, will not put gas in the last couple mows so that I know I can run it out, and then I leave it empty for the winter. And if you want to watch a video that goes over all of the steps for mowing lawn, you can check this one out here. When you're done mowing the lawn, and if you've let it run out of gas, now is a good time to change the oil in your lawnmower, and then it will be ready for next spring. If you want to be that ambitious and do that, you can watch this video about how to change the oil and also how to sharpen the blade. In conjunction with mowing the lawn, you probably need to clean off some of the stuff on the lawn before you mow or after you mow, depending on what it is. In this case, I got a lot of leaves that have come down already. Unfortunately, this tree is going to be dropping leaves for probably the next month, so I'll have to do this more than once. You only have to watch me once. But getting stuff off of the grass is going to be important for getting ready for winter too. So back here where I've got branches and leaves, we're going to get that off the lawn so that the lawn will be healthier in the spring. One of the most important things that you can learn as a young man, if you're growing up and your dad's not there and you're learning how to do these things and you're taking responsibility, is that it's preparing you to be a responsible, capable adult. The most important thing about all of this stuff is not that your home's going to last longer or that you'll be ready for the winter. Those are all good things. The most important thing is going to be how you feel about yourself, because you're contributing to your family, you're taking care of things, and you're stepping into manhood in ways that you otherwise wouldn't if you were just sitting in the basement playing video games and waiting for the next microwave meal to be finished. So, I'm glad you're not that guy. Number 7 would be to cover your air conditioner if you've got an air conditioner on the outside. Okay, there's two kinds of air conditioning, two primary kinds of air conditioning. Central air, which is this type, or in some climates, they'll have swamp coolers. A swamp cooler would be on your roof, sometimes it's in a window. There's a way you can shut those down and winterize those, and you need to do that because they have water in them, and water will freeze in the winter. So if you have a swamp cooler, find a video, or I'll make one next year, about winterizing your air conditioner if it's a swamp cooler. If it's central air and it uses Freon that circulates through, then you don't have to worry about draining anything, but a lot of people like to cover the outside heat exchanger in an AC unit. I haven't done that with mine, but if you want to, you can get a cover that will fit it, you can put it on there, and that'll help it last longer. This sucker's 20 years old, and I have replaced the motor once, but I've never covered it in the 15 years that we've lived in this house. So, optional, but advisable. If you want to do it, cover it. If not, you can be like Stepdad. Stepsons, I lost track of what number we're on. I think we're on 7 or 8. In the garage, there's a couple things you're going to want to do to get ready for winter. Primarily, it's rearrange stuff. So, like the motorcycles, I'm going to position those towards the back so we've got more access for the things that we do use up front. You will also want to stock in the garage some rock salt or ice melt if you live in a climate where you're going to get snow and freezing rain and things of that nature, so you've got that on hand. And that's kind of nice to have positioned by the front. Part of the other change in the garage to winterize or get ready for winter is to get the snow shovels out of the canoe so they're handy for when the snow comes. The canoe is also a good place to store the garden hose for the winter, out of the way, but out of the weather. You may not have a garage like mine. You may not have a canoe hanging from the ceiling that you can store your summer and winter stuff in, but somewhere in your garage you probably have a way to configure it. So the point is just move the stuff that's the summer stuff that you're not going to use somewhere where you won't need it, and get the stuff out that you'll want for winter where it's more accessible in your garage. If you have a 2-story house and you have air conditioning and a heater, well then you may do what we do, and that's adjust the vents in the house. So in the summer, when the air conditioner's on, well, cool air comes down. We close the vents in the basement because we want more of the AC to go upstairs. The opposite is true in the winter. The heat rises, so we want more heat to come down in the basement and less to go by default upstairs. The whole point of that is adjust your heating vents accordingly. So if you've got them closed downstairs or adjusted small downstairs, you probably want to open them so that you get the heat coming downstairs, and maybe even close some of the ones upstairs. That's, I think, the ninth, maybe it's the eighth thing. Eighth or ninth. If you're getting value out of this video, then I would appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. That will help more people have the opportunity to see this and learn how to winterize their house. One important thing is to practice petting the cat while he sits on your lap. This is a winter ritual that you don't want to miss. The next thing I would suggest that you do to get ready for winter in your house is change the furnace filter. Here's the furnace in our house. It's going to run a lot more frequently during the winter than it does in the summer, even with the air conditioner on. So you want to make sure you change the filter probably every couple of months, depending on how often it is running. So I already made a video on how to change the furnace filter, so you can watch that one right here. If you do laundry, which hopefully you do, and you have a dryer vent, you may want to take this opportunity to clean the dryer vent. If you haven't done that, there's a video right here that you can watch that shows you how to do that process. Here's a recommendation. If you've got a picnic table like we do, cut a 8-inch section of 4x4, put it underneath, and then if you prop up the picnic table and just tap it under the legs, then it will be at a slope for the winter. That's going to allow the water to drain off of it when the snow lands, melts, even rainstorms. The surface will last a lot longer if it doesn't have pooled water or moisture on it. There you have it. There are 10 things that you can do to get your house ready for winter. I will put in the comments links to some of those other videos that I had, like changing oil in a lawnmower, how to change a furnace filter, all those other ones that I referenced. I'll put links in the comments, so check those out there. Remember, if you are growing up and your dad's not part of your daily life, then I hope you'll subscribe to the channel. This channel is for you, and especially for young men, boys that are growing up without a dad. That's how I grew up a long time ago, and I know it's got challenges. I want you to know that you can still successfully grow into adulthood as a young man, as a man, and be successful. And always remember that you do have a dad that loves you, because this dad loves you. And I will see you on the next video. You gotta love the smell of two-stroke exhaust. Stepsons, the fifth thing, that would be one. Is it time for a break yet? Maybe I should lower the canoe and then lift it back up.